Hi, thanks for watching. Andy here with the astrology for today, Wednesday the 23rd of May 2018. We start the day with the moon in Virgo, so there's that desire to have everything tidied up, even if a place doesn't look too tidy at the end of it, as long as the work side of it and the things you're trying to achieve, they need to be going in the right direction. We have actually got a 16-hour plus void coming up as well today, and during that void it's going to be best not to do too much, not to attract any new action, but definitely to be working on consolidating things we've done previously, perhaps where we've been working with other people to make sure that their contributions are in sync with our own and that things are going to work good. That's really what a void, of course, is about, and it has a lot to do with what Virgo's about as well, actually. Some people say OCD. I think that's a bit extreme, and actually the great majority of Virgos aren't like that. It's simply one of the characteristics, and it sums up quite a lot of the Virgo personality, though, because there is a desire to see things done properly, particularly where they affect you, us, ourselves, and also particularly where they affect other people. It's just a different strand of effect that comes up. But there we go. Let's take a look at the timing, because by tomorrow the moon is going to be in Libra, so it's all changed. Now 15:54 here in UK, that is 7:54 a.m. Pacific, 10:54 a.m. Eastern, and 15:54 p.m. that is 6 minutes to 4 here in UK. The moon goes void, of course, in Virgo on her way through to Libra. Now she enters Libra at 9 minutes to midnight Pacific. Sorry, 9 minutes to 3 Eastern. You'd think you could add 3 to 0, wouldn't you? Well, I just have 9 minutes to 3 Eastern and 9 minutes to 8 a.m. here in UK tomorrow morning. The moon is going to pass into Libra, into the constellation of Libra, and as she goes through Libra, which is the case right through until Saturday, people are more sociable. People have that interest in new acquaintances. We're starting to look outside the box rather than cleaning up inside the box, which is what Virgo's been all about. Partnerships come into focus. It's a good time for social gatherings. Celebrations tend to go well, so that should be a good night out Friday night if you're having one of those, just about anywhere in the world. And the only problem with this is, because it's sort of very romantic almost, but the problem is that making decisions becomes difficult. Other people are prone to doubts and hesitation, and you may have some of that yourself as well. So it's a kind of 2 steps forward and you hope only 1 step back, and that way you keep making progress. But if it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, which it can be, don't see it all as negative, because those 3 steps back are all about learning. They're showing you whatever's happening in the present situation for what it is, where it's actually going. You'll have a better idea of where you stand. But don't worry too much if things don't work out. Remember the laughing Buddha, who isn't really the Buddha but was a Buddhist monk, Hote. He is always laughing, because we have got eternity to sort these things out. We don't have to do everything immediately. There are other moon cycles coming, so whatever happens, don't worry about the Virgo effects, and don't worry too much about the Libra effect. It's going to be a lot more fun with a Libra moon, I have no doubt. The moon phase at the moment, she is 62.5% full now, waxing gibbous, so there is a lot of energy, and we're coming up to full moon on the 29th, less than a week away now, and that's going to be at 15:19 UK time, which is UTC +1 or GMT +1. When the full moon comes, a great time for manifestation and for making new things happen. Also a good time for drawing a line under an old thing and deciding to move forward with a new thing. Not a bad time for that at all. An excellent time really when full moon comes in, and the thing to do is to be ready for it. And you can do that by just following what it's. You don't even have to follow my astrology. I hope you will, but you don't have to. Just follow what it's doing in the sky, you know. You can look out and see it. It's a bit like, you know, all the television stations spend a fortune on telling you what the weather is, and they'll pay a weather person to stand there, a man or a woman, and read all the weather out and tell you what's going to happen. Well, if you look out of the window, friends, you will find out. And the same thing, I think, is very true of the moon, because there's great inspiration that comes from standing out there and looking up at the moon. Okay, so that is where we are today. Elsewhere in the alignments, okay, and the thing has moved down the screen a bit, as it always does. Mercury's opposed Jupiter, and that was in the wee small hours. That has passed, but that was affecting things last night. Mercury, also, which is in Taurus, by the way, also semi-squared Chiron at 2:40 a.m. this morning UK time. And then at 10:39 p.m. tonight, this is what we are moving towards. The Sun in Gemini is going to trine Mars in Aquarius. So you have those leadership issues, you have the great desire to get things done, but you also have the Aquarius influence where people are looking forward and it's a little bit emotional, you know, with that water sign side of it, originality. All those things come in, so we might see some interesting solutions to things from world leaders around about that time. I'm happy to say that by then the UK Parliament is knocked off and gone home to get drunk, because they're such regular, straight characters. Quick look at spaceweather.com. The solar wind speed is up a little bit, 463 kilometers a second. The proton density has shot up and is 10.1 protons per cubic centimeter. That is because there is a 40% chance of minor geomagnetic storms grazing against the planet today, against the Earth's magnetic field. And all this gaseous material, whatever it is that's grazing us, is flowing from a hole in the sun's atmosphere. There's only one sunspot on the face of the sun. It's a small one. It has a stable magnetic field. We aren't expecting any solar flares from it. Number 2710, number 2710. And on that note, friends, thanks again for watching. It's always good to know people looking. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. We'll share the journey. And if you can share me around the internet, speaking of sharing, that would be wonderful. Helps me to get the word out. Meanwhile, have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.